Hey everyone, it's Jenny from Southern Savers. It's our Monday night Q&A, which is your chance to ask any questions that you have, saving money, couponing, budgeting. The sky's the limit. As long as we can stay in finances, I'll be pretty good with that. Tonight, I always come with a topic, and tonight my topic for us was coupon organization. We usually do this a few times of the year, and it's a good thing to just get under control from the beginning because the method that you choose to organize your coupons can completely make or break you, burn you out, and make you hate every second of it, or it can kind of keep you going. So that's what I want us to hit on tonight is just how to organize efficiently, and then wherever your questions take us. That's the fun part of a Q&A. You can ask any questions you have. They do not need to be on organization. I'm okay with that. We could talk CVS for half an hour. But you guys, most of you know how it works, but if you're new, you leave your questions in the comments or the live chat if you're watching on the YouTube side, and I will answer them. Sometimes I come back and answer them, and sometimes my husband can help me answer them too. So he is also hanging in on the comments as me. Makes that confusing, I know, but I can't really type and be live and be showing you things at the same time, so it's pretty awesome to have a husband who's willing to get in there and chat with you guys. So to get started, I want to kind of hit a little bit of our topic, and then we'll jump to wherever your questions are. But the big thing that I want folks to get is that if you choose a method to organize your coupons, hello Brenda from Southern California, it's nice to have someone from across the country joining us. If you choose a method to organize your coupons that takes hours and hours on end, then you are going to really be stuck still organizing your coupons while some of us have already shopped and possibly even put everything away, and you're still cutting and putting the coupons in a binder. So we really can't, you can't just stick yourself in I want to be super organized mode and make this work long term. Now, some people can. We could have binder testimonials for 4 hours, but most of us, long term, we need this to be a lifestyle and not some crazy hobby. Hello, Heidi. We missed you last week. So lots of familiar faces every week, and when you guys are gone, we notice. So Leah's already got a question. What do we do with printable coupons and loose coupons? I can't remember what coupons are or where they are. So Leah, let's jump through first what to do with newspaper coupons. So for me, I do not cut my coupons until I need them. So my coupons came today. They come in the mail. We've covered this on probably every Q&A. They came in the mail today. First step of getting my coupons is writing the date on them. So if you've not ever done that, the date's on here. It's just super crazy tiny on the spine, and we would need magnifying glasses to look at that every single time. So write the date really huge on the front, which is 1/21. Like, I don't know, it's Monday. Who needs to know the actual calendar date of the week? So write the date on the front, and then they're going to go in a hanging file folder or an accordion file. So this is an accordion file. Got lots of things to hold up tonight. This is an accordion file folder. You can get the whole insert in there. That's the main point. We're not going with that little coupon folder. We're going with the big guy. And these you can get in Target or Walmart, and they cost a couple bucks, guys, so it's pretty low key. But you can get ones that have 12 pockets, so that's what we want to go for. I'm going to take everything from this Sunday, and I'm going to put it in the open pocket that is there. Next Sunday is going to go in the pocket right behind that, so on and so forth. So we just kind of keep on moving as we go through. With your inserts, once this is full, come in, find the oldest week that's in here, because once you've been doing this for a while, it's always going to stay full, guys. That's how it works. Find the oldest week that's in here, pull the oldest week out, and put this week in. So folks are already asking, where do I get my inserts? I get them from SundayCouponInserts.com. Thank you, Erin, for putting that in the comments. And you were asking, I get 4. Now, that's a little excessive for most people. You have to think about my family. I have 5 kids and a husband, so there's 7 of us total. We do 4 inserts for the 7 of us. If you are not a big family, I would encourage you to do 2 inserts. Just start with 2. We don't need to go overboard. The more you get, the more time this takes. We have to cut them. We have to keep up with them. So don't go super crazy on that. Now, with these again, we're putting the date really big. So I've got my 114s here. They already have the date. Kind of gives you the idea of what we're talking about when I say really big on the front. And you can put that anywhere. I mean, really, guys, this is low key. This is not like let's overthink everything. Put everything from the same Sunday in the same pocket together. So this past week we had, I need more hands to do this. This past week we had 1 red plum and 1 smart source. I'm looking for the front. The smart source. His name is kind of hidden this week. Usually the smart source is huge, but their names are on them. So it's going to get the date put on it. I literally opened this up before we went live though, so I did not get out my Sharpie marker and write my date yet, guys. And they're all going to go in a pocket together. Now, how am I going to use that? The lists that are on Southern Savers, this is my Publix list from last week, has what's on sale, but it also has all the coupons that are available for the sale. So I am not cutting my coupons until my shopping list tells me to cut them. That's really the concept. And Trista, I'm going to get to your question. That's a great question. What do I do for deals that I wasn't planning on? How do I go about that? So for me, I'm going to cut the coupons that the shopping list tells me to cut. And if it tells me to, like this one, for instance, find the $1 off Florida's Natural Orange Juice SS107. I'm going to come and find January 7th's inserts from the accordion or the hanging file folder and cut that coupon and head to the store. So for this one, I had 2, and I wrote a 2 next to it on my shopping list so that I didn't have to think about it in the store. I was just good to go. And I'm going to do that all the way down so you can see kind of how many I plan to get of things. We had 4 of this Juicy Juice. I know my Facebook folks, this is backwards, but my YouTube folks, y'all can see it. 4 of the $1.25 off 2 Juicy Juice coupons from the SS107, which means I need to buy 8 to use it all. Guys, I got 5 kids, so 8 bottles of juice may last us 2 weeks if I just let them drink juice all the time. That's a fun one for me because after the coupon, it really came out to, the math is $1.12, but my store was even cheaper, so it came out to less than a dollar per bottle. With these, once this is all done, they go in a Ziploc bag, and I am ready for Publix. So I'm only cutting from the whole inserts what I need for this trip. Everything else is just going to stay in that accordion file until I need it. Now, Trista, I always forget, yes, Trista, I remembered your name, was asking, what about if I find a deal in the store that I wasn't ready for? So you have 2 options, Trista. I am not taking whole inserts into the store and going to try to cut these as I walk down the aisle. That's just madness, and it's not going to happen. So 2 options. Option number 1, or I guess 3 options really. Option number 1, you can ask your store, can I use a coupon when I come back in? I'm going to grab this today. I don't have the coupon for it. 99% of your stores are going to say yes. So just bring your receipt in and bring the coupon, and they will let you use it when you come back in. Option number 2 is you could make a note of it on the bottom of your shopping list and grab it the next time you're in the store. That's not what most couponers want to do. It causes them small, like, heartburn to have to wait to get the deal. And option number 3, and this is really hard for some folks, is to realize that that clearance deal that you're running upon, which is normally those unexpected deals, we're really going to see that same item on sale in a couple more weeks. A clearance deal may be 50% off, but so is a BOGO deal in a few more weeks. So it's not the only sale you're ever going to see on that item in most situations. I tend, Trista, giving you those 3 options, I tend towards number 1. So I just tell them, or I make sure, they usually don't change the policy. You kind of learn your stores pretty well, but just ask, hey, can I use a coupon the next time I come in? They're usually always going to say yes, and you just go straight to customer service with your receipt and with your coupons that you would have used the last time. And then I don't have to carry them with me. I don't need to keep them in a big, huge binder. I can still get the same deal that everyone else got today, which is pretty sweet. So that's the route that I tend to take. Now, another question that I put off, I don't remember everyone's names once we get past a few, was asking, what about loose coupons? So what about the coupons that we print and we forget about them or we don't know where to put them? So with an accordion system, I have to have somewhere else that loose coupons are going to live. And with loose coupons, you can go a couple of ways with this. I would recommend at least getting a little coupon folder. So one of these guys, and we have it by section in the store. With loose coupons, we're not going to keep a ton in here. And if you guys look at this one, you'll actually notice there's not a lot in here at all. There's some categories have nothing. Some categories have 1 or 2. This is mine of my loose coupons that I printed early, and I have a feeling the category with the most is dairy, just in yogurt alone and all the yogurt coupons that we've been seeing. So anything that I found in the store, like these awesome ones from Publix, they're going to go in here for when I choose to use them. Anything that I printed early and I just have because I can't pass up a cheese coupon ever. I just wait for the sale. I'm going to print it and wait for the sale, but it's in here. So organize by large locations in the store. That's all that's in here though, are just the coupons that I printed early or the ones that I found in the store. So, you know, your random little ones that can't live anywhere else. I don't need them in a big binder. I can still find them pretty quick because again, there isn't much in here and you can tell that. So just to kind of keep you straight, little soapbox here, this cannot be your only system. So if you're cutting the coupons from the Sunday paper that you think you're going to use and you're shoving them all in one of these tiny little guys, you're going to go crazy because you're going to have 140 coupons in the middle of dairy and you got to go through it all. So don't do that. This goes along with another system, but it can't be its own system. So that's kind of option number 1 for loose coupons. You can go bigger, and I really, in me showing you that one, guys, that's just a piece of what I carry. So to show you the whole thing is you could go with this route. Now this is bigger, and I've shown you this on other Q&As too, so some of you are used to it. I've used this for a long time. This is just a insulated lunch bag from Staples, cost $10, and it's 3 coupon folders that I just showed you with their tops cut off. So it's really hard to show on a camera, but it's just 3 of these guys. So more categories is really the concept. With that, again, they're all almost as empty. I don't really need all that space. I could totally get by with just 1 little coupon folder, but I don't know. I made it for show and tell purposes for workshops, and then just something about being able to grab it and carry it in a store with me makes me happy, so it comes. But you can go as big or as little for your loose coupons as you want to, which Marnie's question is, you know, I print coupons and then forget about them only to find that they're expired, so it's a waste of time, paper, and ink. So Marnie, I kind of showed you how empty mine is. I follow a few rules with printable coupons. I don't print them all, though I did print a lot of yesterday's and a lot of today's. But generally for me with printable coupons, I'm going to go with, is it a brand that we always use or a product that we always use? Like I was just saying, I can't resist a cheese coupon because in our house, I can never have enough cheese. I usually can't resist, you know, cream cheese is another one that I'm grabbing because we're eating bagels all the time. That's kind of a go-to breakfast around here. So is it a product I know we'll use, a brand I know we'll use? Is it a produce, meat, or dairy coupon, you know, things that, again, we don't see a lot of, so when we do see them, you should print them. Or is it a high-value coupon? That's it. If it doesn't follow one of those rules, leave it there. There are some coupons that are going to be there when you die. It used to be the Pillsbury Roll coupons. We still have a number of those, but you get the idea. They're not going anywhere. The high values, so I saw someone already mentioning it. We have some really good ones, and I can stick that back in the chat too, because I still have a link pulled to all of them. So this is, I'll have my husband stick it in just a second, but a number of high value coupons that came out yesterday for $2 off Purcell. I know I saw someone say it wasn't in your paper, the $3 off, and that happens. The bigger the city, the more coupons are in your city's paper. So if you did not get this guy, which I did, yay, it's fun to see. Not everybody got this guy in the Sunday paper, but we do have it available as a printable coupon in a $2 form. It's not a $3, but it's a $2. Still makes them super cheap, guys. You should print those when you see them. I'm glad I'm not alone. Toy is saying I'm the same way. I must print cheese coupons. Yeah, it's just cheese. You gotta print this. I'm glad. Thank you guys for not making me feel so crazy. So other than that, Marnie, long answer there, I'm not going to print it. So I'm not printing a massive amount. I'm going to wait until it shows up on my shopping list, because the printables are there too. And if you guys haven't noticed, if you scroll down here where the quick cutting guide is, there's a big blue button where you can print all the coupons.com coupons that are on the list all at one time. So trying to make it as simple as we can for you. Yeah, one person saying, can I just do this step by step without taking questions? Yeah, that's a hard one on Q&As. We'll try. So for me, step by step, how I'm going to prepare again is I am going to sit down and make my shopping list. That is step number one. Just make my shopping list from the lists that are on Southern Savers. Guys, I took the time to make them. I might as well use them too. So make my shopping list. Then I'm going to sit down. I use the quick cutting guide, which I did not print, because you can hide that when you're done if you want. So I didn't actually print it to show you guys. But the quick cutting guide is meant for people who are using the keep them whole organization method, because it organizes your coupons by insert, which is something I have always wanted. So I thought, why not make it? So you'll have all the coupons that are on your shopping list from SS 114 all together and from RP 114 all together. So I'm going to sit down and cut whatever is on here. I'm going to print whatever is on here. And then I start to organize based on whatever I cut and whatever I printed. So you can kind of see my little numbers and my little chicken scratches. Once they get organized, there's actually, so you can go Ziploc bags for everything, but I actually have a tab just for the stores. So they're all going to go in the little Publix tab or the little buy low tab based on where I'm going, just because I have the bag and I might as well use it, but you can do whatever you want. When I'm in the store, I do not need to use this list. Or sorry, I do not need my coupons at all. I'm just going to use the list. Oh, backwards. So I don't need to sit there and constantly look at it and go, wait, how many Activia yogurts was I going to get? Or how many Nabisco crackers? It's on the list. So I just follow the list. And then when I'm pulling up to check out, I am going to go through those coupons one time just to make sure that I didn't change my mind, which on this trip I actually did completely change my mind and decide to not get a couple of things in the store. And you'll have moments like that. So just pull out those coupons, or you're going to find things weren't there. Your goal was to get Del Monte vegetables, and maybe they were completely sold out of what you wanted to get. So that is your moment to remember to get a rain check for those items as you're checking out. Go to customer service right as you finish, before you walk to the car, and get rain checks for whatever you didn't grab. But I don't need to sit there analyzing my coupons as I walk through the store, because this is telling me what they are. This is telling me how to buy them. So for me, in a grocery store, I am in and out. This isn't a long process. I'm just a normal person with a normal shopping list, basically, not spending 4 hours in the middle of Publix. I don't have time for that. So Bev, hopefully that helps. That is kind of the weekly process on how I'm going to get ready. Let me jump back to some other questions. Marnie asked, do I separate the Smart Sources and the red plums? No, Marnie. So you're going to take everything from one Sunday and just put them all in the same pocket together. I do, keep the Smart Sources and the red plums at least together. But generally, no. I just deal with it by date. So when my shopping list has some from the 114, I'm going to pull them all out together and cut whatever it told me to cut, and then put them all back in together. But there's no need. You don't really need to have, you'd have to have a massive accordion file first off, or hanging file, if I wanted to actually separate this into RP 114 and SS 114. It just gets a little too excessive. So just keep them together. The other part that gets confusing to that is that you're going to have some weeks, like last week, where you just got a Smart Source. So if I really did try to separate them out, I would have some weeks that had one, and I'd have some weeks that had three, and you get the idea. It's just a little too much. Plaid Mom says, where do I buy the accordion? You're going to find that all over the place. Target, Walmart, Staples, everybody sells them. And you could even say, I'm looking for an accordion file folder. It's going to be in school supplies or office supplies in Walmart and Target. In Office Depot and Staples, look towards anywhere near folders. They're all together, and they sell even bigger ones in Staples. I wouldn't go much bigger than a 12 pocket because they'll fall apart, guys. So don't think you're going to get one that's going to hold a year's worth of coupons. It won't last if you get that really big one that's made out of paper. You really want to go with the plastic guy. You can totally do hanging file folders as well if you wanted to go excessive. But really, you only need the 12 pockets, and there's a reason for that. Because after 12 weeks, remember we're putting the whole week in there together, after 12 weeks, pretty much everything in that insert is expired. So if you were to look, some of them, the expiration dates aren't even that good. The expiration dates are super, super close. But like this guy right here, Welch's Jams and Jellies, it's good through April 30th, which is right at 3 months, which is right at the point that this is going to be full, and I'm going to be taking that coupon out, or that whole insert out of the accordion file. So you really don't need to get bigger than a 12 pocket. I think you're going to be good. Don't go overboard, I promise. Now, there's also a little inside tip here, and I can't really show you guys on the Facebook side very well, but I can on the YouTube side. So a little tip on how to tell when your inserts are expired, because every week you're taking one out of that accordion file and you're putting one in. So if you use the database on Southern Savers, and we'll put the link in on the Facebook side at least, but if you head to the database and you put in the name of the insert, so that SS, RP, PG, the little 2-digit abbreviation, and you put in, here, YouTube folks, I forgot to show you guys the screen. So here's my screen. We're sitting here. This is the coupon database, and we're going to put in a date. And this gets tricky for me. So we need to think of a date 3 months ago. Let's go August. And we need to think of this is where sometimes I just have to get a calendar, guys. So everyone on the YouTube is going to see how crazy my calendar gets. Let's go October 8th. 10 and a 2-digit year. So SS10/08 for everyone in Facebook land. That's all we're searching for on the database. And it's showing me that there are 3 coupons that are still good. That's it. The whole insert has expired other than those 3 coupons. Honestly, looking at them, 2 of them aren't even things that I would really buy. I'm okay with it. Just pull the insert out and chunk it. But that is a little inside tip on how to do that. So again, you want to search with the name of the insert and a 2-digit month and a 2-digit date. So 08, 1008 is what we just searched. And hopefully that helps you guys to kind of get a feel for a little inside tip, how to chunk and know when they're expired for the inserts and just move on. I don't have to go through every single insert and looking at every single coupon. Just move on. Another little thing for you, that insert, once it's fully expired, can have a new life. So you can put these to work. They can go overseas. Troops that are on deployed bases, not U.S. bases, but deployed bases, can use insert coupons up to 6 months past their expiration date. So once you pull them out, some of them will have just expired. Send them on. There are a lot of libraries that collect these and send them over in bulk, and VFW posts. You'll find folks around town that do that, but it's a really, really fun way to just kind of help other people with your expired coupons. You can't use them, so you might as well send them somewhere else. Okay, Jennifer asked, how many weekly inserts would I suggest for a family of 6? Jennifer, I would recommend, if you're just getting started, that you start with 2. And the reason for that is that you're the only one that can decide how many of the inserts are you actually using, and then is it enough for you when you add in all the printables? Because really, when we sit down and we look at this, to give you, trying to pull up one, like my orange juice, for example, I could buy a ton of orange juice. Yes, I have 4 insert coupons, but where am I going to put all that orange juice? But we also have the same coupon that's available to print. So if I have 4 inserts and 2 that I can print, now we're up to 6 orange juices. That's a lot of orange juice. You kind of get the idea. I don't really need all the inserts if I can print a lot of them for most items. Now, that said, I still bought, a lot of Juicy Juice, and I got 8 Del Monte vegetables from Publix. But really, guys, if you watched my quick live last Wednesday, Publix was my tiny trip. My big trip was Bilo, and we did get a lot of canned vegetables at Bilo too, because the Del Monte deal was running in both stores. So that one was completely printable as well. There's so many moments where you're going to turn to printables instead of inserts. So don't always go overboard on inserts until you decide, you know what, we really could use some more. That's where I want to push you to anyway. Let's see, to jump back, Aaron has semi off topic, Kroger ClickList. I know you're allowed to use physical coupons, but are you allowed to use rain checks as well? They didn't take the ClickList coupon off in the store. Oh, I got you, based on the thing you were asking about last week. So with rain checks on ClickList, Erin, I have not ever done that. So I'm going to defer and see if someone else can answer that in the comments. I think it could get a little tricky, but I don't see why they couldn't, because they're just walking into a register the same way that anyone else is walking into a register. But with ClickList, typically they're going to have fully checked you out. They're going to come up to the car with your receipt and your groceries, and then you're going to hand them all your coupons, and they're going to go back in and scan all your coupons and then come back out with your receipt. It's kind of a slow process, but at least they take them, and at least they take them off of that purchase, because Harris Teeter, they really apply them to your next purchase. So I'm not going to complain at how Kroger does it, but I don't see why they wouldn't take your rain check in that situation either. It's just, it could end up being a hit or miss. So let's see, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Jonathan, off topic question, when will they start letting you file your income tax return? Usually it's within this current, we're right in that window. It's usually the 3rd week of January, Jonathan. Not sure if things have slowed down with all the tax changes or not, but going to the IRS website, which I'm pretty sure is just irs.gov, should give you a date right across the top as to when they are accepting income tax returns. And January 29th. There we go. It's on their homepage. So glad to answer your question and learn it for me too. Okay, so Bev's got a question. Do I just go to the store that I'm going to on the website to make the list, or does my list have all different stores on it? So Bev, you can do both, and y'all may not realize this, but on Southern Savers, you actually can save multiple stores to the same shopping list if you really, really want to. That sounds crazy to me. So I have a CVS list when I'm heading to CVS and a Publix list. I did a lot of shopping last week. I just make one for each store so that when I'm in the store, I'm just dealing with that store. And yes, Bev, I just go to the CVS page on Southern Savers and pull the whopping 3 deals that I wanted to grab this week. It's all about just keeping the extra care bucks going, or pull just the Publix deals that we want to grab. But just that. Let's see. Do I go to the store? Erica's question, do I go to the store at a certain time of day? I don't want to be the lady taking 45 minutes to check out. So Erica, the only time that I would avoid in the grocery store is going after 5, between like that 5 to 7 window. You're going to be talking about crazy busy grocery store time. Really not the best time to be checking out. And honestly, don't put yourself in the newbie category, because I've been doing this for over 10 years now. And even in buy low this week, I knew it was going to happen, guys. We just all have those moments. I thought I had picked the right register, but then the gentleman in front of me wanted to use 1 coupon, and it was a coupon that had printed in buy low. You know, we all get them. Those lovely, I brought some even. These guys, it was one of these that had printed in the store, and the cashier couldn't figure out how to scan this 1 coupon. And I knew right then all my groceries were already on the conveyor belt. We were going downhill, and going downhill fast, because I had probably 40, 50 coupons. It was already going to require a manager, because if you're over a certain number in buy low, just a number of coupons, a manager has to come up. So the very first coupon, that sweet lady just gives up, and she calls for help, and thankfully help knew and just stood there and scanned in all the coupons instead of handing it back over to her, because I could have been there for probably an hour and a half. So it's not always a new couponer problem. Sometimes it's really just a cashier problem. I'm not saying always. There are great cashiers that are out there, and hopefully you can learn to peg them. I thought that I had picked well, but I was off on that one. But we all have moments like that. So don't get flustered. You just kind of apologize. I did go ahead and tell the lady who came up behind me and started to put her groceries, like, I got a lot of coupons. I'm just going to give you that warning now. And she was actually super sweet and super patient and said, oh, honey, I use coupons. We're good. I don't think she had any that day, but she was very patient. And it's just kind of acknowledging that this is how it's going to be. You know, we're there to save money, and it's not something to even be concerned about. You should never feel bad for it by any means. But my little story over. I would not go between 5 and 7. Erica, I would also, depending on where you live and how old you are, I would not go on Wednesday. So Wednesday is the first day of the ad in most areas, but it is also senior day anywhere outside of Florida. There's no such thing as senior day in Florida, but outside of Florida, we have senior day. You get 5% off your total in groceries at most grocery stores on Wednesday. And if you are not a senior, you might not want to be there. It's a little busy and it's really slow. So just, little word to the wise on that one. In terms of other days of the week, really it doesn't matter. Mondays, if I were to pick, would probably be my favorite day because most stores get a midweek truck and they're completely restocked on Mondays. So it'll be like you're coming in on Wednesday. So if you really had any day of the week available to you, that would probably be the day that I would pick. Okay. Rachel says it's off topic, but I've heard you say sales cycles are every 6 weeks, but I see a lot of items repeated several weeks in a row. Does the restart for the 6-week cycle, does that restart the 6-week cycle for that item? So Rachel, sometimes it depends on the store you're in. So Kroger, for example, runs basically 2-week-long ads. Whatever we see in this week's ad, we're going to tend to see for next week too. So sometimes it's learning your store cycle, and then when that 2-week ad is over, it's 6 weeks from that moment. Sometimes we're also dealing with flyers. So Publix puts out a 3-week-long flyer, and those deals are good for a chunk of time, and then we're going to see them again in another 6 weeks too. So it's kind of learning your individual store for that one. Eileen says, how old is the senior discount at Bilo? 60. In Publix, it's 55. In Bilo, I'm pretty sure it's 60, and it's linked to your card in Bilo. At Publix, it's not linked to a card, so you could really just have gray hair, and they could totally be giving you that discount every time because they're really afraid to ask. They don't want to offend you. So it could be a reason to not dye your hair if you go prematurely gray, guys. But generally, it's 55 to 60 in most stores. On the coupons that Bilo prints, do they only use one per visit? That's what they tell me. So, Scarlett, do you mean these guys, the coupons that print at the register? Because these, if you buy enough of them, so this is $5 off 2, this will be a ton of them because it's off 32 counts of K-Cups. I can't imagine wanting to buy 4 32 count K-Cups. But if you did, you are allowed to use one of these for every 2 items. That's what the coupon is for. It does not have a limit on the number that you can use. It's a true manufacturer's coupon. And honestly, Scarlett, if Bilo's giving you a hard time with these, I'd probably take them somewhere else because while it has that Bilo logo right there, it is really a manufacturer's coupon, and I could use it in Walmart if I wanted to. I can use this anywhere, so don't feel like you need to be stuck at the store that it printed in by any means. What do I look for in a cashier? So, we can get into some stereotypes. I really like teenage boys. They're probably the best cashiers in the world, and they will cheer you on while you're saving money. What I am not looking for usually is older women. And I know that sounds so horrible to have to say, but I'm answering your question. The problem is that a lot of times they either don't know how to do it or they aren't very happy at you for slowing down the process. So, and that's just based on experience. I'm not saying that's all of them. I don't want people jumping on me. But that said, if you can find some teenage boys, you should always be in their cashier line because they are going to cheer you on. And some stores, just going to the self-checkout makes life easier too. If you've got a small trip and you can do it yourself, let's just not deal with anybody. That would be even the more ideal situation. But that would be my stereotypical kind of answer on that one. Let's see. I'm going to zoom ahead. My husband's been trying to share questions with me. So if I zoom and I miss your question for a while, you can always just ask it again. Oh, yeah. And Aaron's saying the 1st and the 15th is also a good time to stay far, far away as everyone gets paid on those days, finally. Let's see. I seem to print too many coupons and they expire before I use them. So Jay, you're not alone on that. That's where, again, I would stick to that rule of just the brands that you know you'll use, the high value coupons, and then the items that we rarely see coupons for, and just deal with the rest when they pop in. So, you know, I'm gonna print them when they show up on my shopping list, and maybe I miss one or two, but I'd rather do that than print a billion that I don't end up using. Now, that said, guys, folks always ask, how do we save on ink and how do we save on paper? So if you haven't seen it, Office Depot this week has a ream, which is 500 sheets of paper for 99 cents after rewards. So it's deals like that that you should be grabbing and stocking up on. Staples will run the 1 cent reams from time to time, but we haven't seen it in about a month. So checking for those kind of deals to get your paper. And then ink is always my classic answer, and that is that it's time to switch printers. You should not be using an inkjet anymore. It's like so 1980s, guys. Not really, that would be dot matrix. But it's time to get out of inkjets and switch to a laser printer. So black and white laser, your coupons do not need to be in color. Other than the only color coupons you're gonna find in my little bag here are all coupons that I got from a newspaper. I only use black and white, our black and white printer. So go with a laser printer. Brother makes some really, really cheap ones, and that's the route you want to go. They're all great. So just to answer that question too. I don't know if they would take coupons printed on a dot matrix printer. I don't think that they would scan at all. Yeah. I'm glad as I look at all of your questions on the cashier that people agree with me, not trying to step on any toes. But I'm glad that some of you also agree with my assessments on cashiers. So I showed you what I do, which is the accordion system. I do want to show you two other options. So this bag that I showed you that I use just for my loose coupons. And guys, there's really not a lot in here, remember. Most of them are super empty, but this is a system that you can entirely use to cut all the coupons and keep them with you. And some of you, you know who you are, you do need them with you. Like this is just your happy moment. So if you wanted to, you could cut everything from the Sunday paper. You could organize them by category and shove them in their various categories. If you're going to go with that, you do want a system similar to this because I want a lot more than just the 12 categories that are in one little normal coupon folder. So I want to be able to break it out. So I'll show you. This is 2 of them. I told you it was 3 in the bag, but this is just 2 of them. So we've got a ton of options in here. And then you can even put in some subcategories if you want to get super fancy. Now, someone made these for me years ago, and I still use them. I'm never opposed to a gift, guys, really. I can be bought. But it works for me. And they went super organized with the little subcategories. I don't know that you need to do that, but you could. So for me, for example, dairy has 2 subcategories of cheese and yogurt. Not saying you have to go there, but you could. If you were going to cut all your coupons and you were going to make this, you can go crazy if you really, really want to. Now, with cutting all your coupons, it's going to take about 45 minutes to cut all the coupons in that insert and organize them out into categories. You just need to kind of put that time aside. Keep in mind, in your 45 minutes, I didn't really tell you guys how much time this takes, but in your 45 minutes, I've already made my shopping list, cut my coupons, and I'm probably headed out the door. So that's the trade-off when you're trying to decide which system to use, is that there are definitely much faster systems than cutting all the coupons. Now, I know that it makes some of you happy, so it's okay. You can cut them. But just so you kind of get the concept that you could be kind of killing time. Your time has a value, so you do need to consider that before you start to cut everything. And then last one, we always get this. Amy's chiming in, so it's kind of perfect. Perfectly timed there, Amy, but you could go this route, which is coupons stored in baseball card sheets. This is what I thought I always wanted to do, guys. I spent probably a whole weekend moving in with small children climbing all over me. I did it for about 3 months, and then I just burned out completely. And I'm glad that some of you love it, but really this is not for everybody. You know who you are if this is going to be for you, but for most people, you're going to burn out very quickly. This is coupon origami every single day. You don't just shove the coupon in there, you study it. Do I want the picture to show? Do I want the expiration date to show? This can be stressful for a lot of people, and then other people, I love to see all of you guys say, chiming in with your yeses. Other people, it makes you happy. If you were to come and analyze this one, most of them expired in 2009. So it's been a while for me, and I have no desire to go back. This, to me, just makes me want to go take a bubble bath and forget about couponing. But for some people, you love it. Most people that try this system, they burn out very quickly, and they can't do this long term. So it's really up to you and what makes you happy. The other downside with going with a system like this is not only that it takes a good hour and a half to get them all in there, but you also tend to shop slower because you're trying. I'm with you, Erin. Just holding it up causes gray hairs for me too. But you're going to shop much slower in the store, trying to find all the deals on Kroger house brand cups and things that I don't know the prices for. So I got to get to the store and find out whether or not it's a deal. And 4 hours later, I'm done shopping. So most of us don't have the time for this in general. You've got a job, you have other things you need to do. So this looks fun until it just drives you crazy and you quit. But that said, you guys can skim back through the comments, especially on the Facebook side. There were a lot of folks that love them, so I don't want to trash what you love. But most of us need some anti-anxiety meds just to think about it. So just going to say, going with keeping your inserts whole. So if you just joined in to that, please, that's not what I'm recommending. But keeping your inserts whole, writing the date really big on the front, and putting them in a hanging file or an accordion file and just cutting them when your list tells you to cut them, but not dealing with it before then is kind of the happy place to be. So I would push you to that one instead of trying to go to a list for sure. And I love Bev. She says, I just want you to tell me what to buy and when to buy it. Yeah, that is my goal. Let's make this as easy as we possibly can. We don't need to put as much effort into this as some people want to, by far. I did see one question pop in. Let's see. Oh, there we go. My husband was answering it for you instead of me. So again, Rachel asked the question. We already answered this one too, Rachel, but what do we do if I find an unadvertised deal? My go-to, Rachel, is that I usually just ask the store, hey, I don't have a coupon for this. Can I use it when I come back? They always say yes. So you just bring in your receipt and you bring in the coupon that you would have used, go home and cut it, and you're good to go. Option B is that you make a note of it and you come back with the coupon. But I live, and for anyone who doesn't feel like driving to get a deal, we live 25 minutes from any grocery store that I would be willing to shop at. There's a Food Lion 15 minutes away, but I'm not going there. So 25 minutes to the nearest Bi-Lo or Publix. And I am not going to make a separate trip just to come back with a coupon. We're going to use that coupon with the receipt in a week when we come back, if that's the case. But we're definitely not going to sit there and try to make extra trips to do things. So Heidi says, am I the only one that takes 5 hours to plan a CVS trip because of all my CVS store coupons? So CVS can totally take more time, Heidi, but one thing that I will recommend for CVS is gather your coupons. Don't sit there, Heidi, and plan your scenario at home. Don't. Because gathering your coupons and heading to the store, the reason for that is that for me, the scenario is usually what I'm sitting there pondering. When do I want to buy these? What order do I want to buy these in? But you're going to end up getting to the store and something that you planned on getting is going to be gone. That's just the life of CVSing. So instead of planning your scenario at home, get your coupons together and go and take over an aisle. I like the office supply aisle. Nobody ever buys those in CVS except for back to school time. And line your stuff up then, plan your scenario then, instead of doing it at home, because that way I know what I have. I know what they had in stock. I know what I've got coupons for. We can kind of plan it all out there. And yes, I may spend 15 minutes getting ready to check out in the office supply aisle. But it's a lot faster than planning it all at home just to turn around and find that they were out of something. So I just had to throw my scenario out the window and make a new scenario in CVS instead. I just would rather deal with it while I'm there and I know what was in stock. Okay, what's my advice on buying insert coupons? So, Mike and Lori, I use SundayCouponInserts.com. We stuck the link to that in the comments if you scroll all the way back through, but it's just all one word, and they come in the mail. I would go with the bigger city that you can get. There's a lot of places that do this, and honestly, you can find what works for you. This is just the one that we've been using, and it works great. They come every Monday, so these were in yesterday's paper, and they were in my mailbox today. So it's pretty sweet, and it works for me because I don't usually go to the grocery store until Wednesday. So Erin says, way off topic, my printer died, and I haven't been able to get your favorite printer on sale. I would like to print a few from the library. Any suggestions on how this would work without screams and cursings and hair pullings? Erin, I don't know. So the library part can be tricky because it's 2 per computer. So if someone has already been there and someone has already printed those coupons, you're not going to be able to print them from the library computer. And that would be where my screams and frustrations would be because I don't know what has been printed or what hasn't been printed from that computer. I do know, Erin, that lately, if you watch Amazon, they have had some refurbished models of that Brother printer at a pretty good price. Let's see if I can quickly find you something refurbished. So you're looking for a 23, 30, 40, on up, the whole mix. Whatever numbers make you happy, they're all the same. I don't really know why they have all these different numbers, but they are always evens. So 40, 60 would be the ones to stick with. I don't see anything right now, Erin, but the next time I do, I could send you a message and try to let you know that we found it. And hopefully we'll see it soon at Office Depot or Staples as well. Anyone... so the Atlanta Journal, Heather, you don't want the Atlanta Journal. I'm sorry. Don't aim for the Atlanta Journal. They've taken all of the Red Plum coupons out of the Atlanta Journal and all of the Procter & Gamble's. So don't go that route. You want to go with a different city or ordering them. So saying we already have the 2018 schedule out. We'll have my husband put that in the comments. But the 2018 coupon schedule, and I'll put it in for YouTube guys as well. This is going to give you a mix or a list of what we expect will be out, and we still update it and make changes because it's totally based on history and what we can see from Smart Source. We are able to see Smart Source's schedule, but nobody else's. So sometimes we're guessing. I do know my mom actually chatted me this earlier today because she does all of this. That this coming weekend we are going to have a Procter & Gamble, 2 Red Plums, and a Smart Source. So it's a good weekend. Well, yesterday's paper wasn't bad, but this coming weekend's paper to grab would be a fun one. So 4 inserts in this coming weekend. If you can grab it, you'll be doing great. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So Janet, with the Sunday coupon inserts, they do come faster if you order more than 2. So I get 4, and they come in a priority flat rate mailer, and that's why. If you don't want 4, but you want them to come fast, just find someone that you could split them with. So if I didn't want 4, maybe I could give 2 to my mom, and I kept 2, or you kind of figure that out. My mom enters all of these, but very rarely uses them. She will print some from time to time, so if I gave them to her, it wouldn't do much good for her. We use all 4, having such a big family, but for you, if you don't need 4, you could do that. If I still want the faster shipping, just kind of split that priority mailer up as soon as it arrives. Okay, let's see. I think I'm caught up with everybody. And Heather, yeah, Heather, we just stuck that in. So we order inserts from SundayCouponInserts.com. Yes, I'm feeling good about being caught up with you guys. One other thing to help you with organizing your coupons is if you're using the accordion or the hanging file folder. One option that you can do to make life a little easier is to use the back pocket for any booklets or pamphlets that you find in the store. So I don't even cut these. If my shopping list tells me that I need, like this guy, I need the Publix extra savings flyer, then I can come in here and find the flyer and cut the coupon. A lot of them are now printable as well, so you don't even have to have the flyer. But if we are talking about a lot of flyers, we don't even need to deal with organizing those because it's very frustrating to have just a whole bunch of random coupons cut and put away that you don't even remember where they're from. So Mickey, how much does it cost for coupons? So ordering from where we order the Sunday coupon inserts, you're still going to pay the price of a newspaper. It's not a cheaper option. It's just an option to get inserts, especially for folks like in Atlanta where you're not even getting the red plums and the Procter & Gamble's anymore. It's just an option to get your inserts. For me, we live out in the woods, so occasionally the Sunday paper arrives, occasionally it doesn't. So I just decided to go with the mailed version as well. Plus, they're from a bigger city than I currently live in. So it's still right at that $3 a Sunday, $3 a Sunday kind of mix for papers. And Sasha asked, kind of off topic, how did I get into couponing? So I think we all have a reason that gets us started, but for us, it was a desperate need to save money. We were trying to live on one income. My husband was working. I was staying home with the kids. I'm a registered nurse. And I kind of looked at him one day and said, we are hemorrhaging money. It is going everywhere and nothing is coming in. So we tried to sit down and try to figure out how to make things work. And I did not go groceries first. I've shared that with a lot of you guys. I really thought I was doing it right, Sasha. I was going to Walmart, I was buying in bulk, I was buying house brands, and really those are three not so great things to do. We don't want to be in Walmart. We want to be in a grocery store for our groceries and a drugstore for everything else. And we want to buy name brands because that's what goes on sale and that's what I have a coupon for. You get the idea. So that is how we got started, was really my husband saying, I want you to try to do better on the groceries. And me saying, I'm doing great. What are you talking about? But in the end, kind of him proving to me that I could do better once I just tried it for about 30 days and realized there was a lot that we could be doing with savings. So that was, goodness, my twins are about to be 13 and they were 1. So it was almost 12 years ago that we dove into this and have carried on ever since. So if you don't get the AJC, that's Francesca, that's where you're going to need to order online or look at getting a friend to send them to you from a different city. There are a lot of cities in Georgia that do still have the Red Plum and the Procter & Gamble. They just pulled them out of the AJC. So you're not completely off for being able to get them. I did not know that about Rite Aid Coupon Poly. So they will... usually their digital coupons are manufacturer coupons. That's interesting that they would let you pair them together. I always have the hardest time getting deals on toilet paper. Oh, I can imagine. The best deals that I have are here in Hawaii are probably $5 Fridays at Safeway. We have CVS, but we don't have all the perks. I can imagine that that is a little tricky. And you're not alone, Kimura. So Hawaii, New York City, big metropolitan areas tend to not have the same deals, not even have extra care buck deals in CVS and in Walgreens Register Awards. They don't tend to run. So you're not alone, but you're probably doing great if you are still hitting the $5 Fridays. That's still a very good price. And Shanna, maybe this helps you, Heidi, but Shanna says, I'm frustrated with CVS receipts. I enjoy math, and I'm good at math, but yet I spend an hour trying to figure out my % off. So you're not alone, Heidi, on trying to figure out everything in terms of CVS couponing and how it can take a while to get your whole list together. Jennifer, we get 4 sets of inserts each week. That's just a standing order with them, so I don't have to do anything. If there's a week that doesn't have any inserts, nothing comes. And then I'm going to get 4 of everything that does come. So this past week we had 4 red plums and 4 smart sources in the mail, and next week with 4 inserts, it really means that my mail will have 16 because I'll have 4 of each of those. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so Heather says, I currently get the Chattanooga Times, but a lot of times I don't get the coupons mentioned. So Heather, the smaller the city, the fewer the coupons are in that city's paper. And don't forget, guys, that with Southern Savers, we do have regional variations. Chattanooga is one, though, that, Heather, to be honest, is really tricky because the people that cover, it's always done by volunteer. And I'll get a volunteer that wants to cover Chattanooga, and then they realize how bad the Chattanooga paper is, and they drop out very quickly. So you're just in kind of a rough spot in terms of us even being able to keep somebody. It looks like I had someone that was helping for a little bit, but I haven't had, whoever that was, they haven't emailed in the inserts since December. So they kind of come and they go with being able to keep help on that one because the paper is so bad. Eileen, in terms of regions, it's really cities. So the bigger the city, the more coupons. If I were to pick Jacksonville, Tampa, think major areas, and you're going to get more offers than little tiny areas. And Carroll, Mississippi, right now we don't have any volunteers covering any of the Mississippi papers. So if you want to step in, you can always send me an email, Jenny@southernsavers.com, and it's Jenny with a Y. And I can tell you how to do it. It's pretty easy. And then your paper would be covered. I know I saw Jay mention that we didn't cover his New York paper either. It's very easy for us to add it in. We just need someone as a volunteer to tell us when it is or isn't in the paper. And we have some great volunteers who are always on it for various cities. We do have the Tennessean. So Heather, as you're talking about the Chattanooga Times Free Press, maybe if you could grab the Tennessean or the Knoxville News, those are both covered in Tennessee and are much better papers than the Chattanooga Times Free Press. Hopefully that will help. Is Kroger, Bilo, and Harris Teeter coming to Florida? The only stores in my area are Publix and Winn-Dixie. So, and Publix is still a great store to have, and Winn-Dixie is Bilo. The Winn-Dixie and Bilo ads are mirror images of each other. So the only difference is that Bilo doubles and Winn-Dixie doesn't. But the same exact deals at both stores. So you kind of have a Bilo, if that helps a little bit. Mickey, what is the big city in South Carolina? It's Columbia. So if you want a South Carolina paper, it's going with the state paper. That's the name of the paper. Out of Columbia. I know it's sold in all the grocery stores around the state as well. So if you are, and that's a good tip too, guys, if you are in another city and you're trying to ponder, well, how could I get a bigger city's paper? Don't call them and ask them to mail it to you. They will mail you the news, but not the coupons, not the inserts. So you can't go to the newspaper. You want to go with local grocery stores, local bookstores, and see what you could find possibly being brought in. I know like Publix does carry the state paper, even in Greenville and whatnot. My husband even just chimed in and said, not Greenville? And someone else even said Charleston. So the Columbia paper, just to compare the two between Columbia and Charleston, could have a difference of upwards of $70 worth of coupons. That's how much bigger the state paper is than the Post and Courier. So why did Publix do away with Senior Day? So Chris, Publix has never had Senior Day in Florida. But to my knowledge, they still have Senior Day everywhere else. I know they do in our area because there are a lot of them, and they're all asking for their discount at checkout. In Florida, they've never had it. I'm pretty sure it would bankrupt Publix to try to have Senior Day in Florida. But they do have it in most every other city. Do I have anyone doing the News and Observer out of Raleigh? Yes, we do have the News and Observer. Oh, no. We don't currently have anyone, covering the News and Observer. I'm looking at the big list. So we've got Southern Pines Pilot, which is a smaller one, and the Greensboro, Charlotte Observer, and the Asheville Citizen Times in North Carolina. Okay. Does Southern Savers work for Texas? So yes, it is going to work in the sense that the stores that you have in your area are going to completely be the same ad no matter where you live. If we're talking CVS and Walgreens and Target and Walmart, same exact deals no matter where you live. We may not cover all of your grocery stores, but we will for all of your national stores. So anyone that's trying to use Southern Savers but lives somewhere else, the grocery may not always pair in, but just go with the national stores and you're still going to be able to easily make a list and head to the store. We are also, I'll give you guys an inside tip, working on a new part of the back end that makes my back end and how I make a list, we're kind of making it have a front end so that you could sit there and type in what you're wanting and match in coupons directly with it. So you may not have a list for your store currently covered, but you could literally make your own. So we're working on how to do that because obviously we have some things where my brain just knows what goes in that box and you guys wouldn't. So we're kind of making it a little bit easier for folks to use that don't know how to use the system. And then you can make your very own shopping list all by yourself and coupon it for your store too. I just saw your comment that Alabama doesn't have a senior day. So Chris, I'm going to guess that you live in southern Alabama. You didn't realize it, but South Alabama, South Georgia, it's really Publix. Publix considers that you live in Florida. You just thought you lived in Alabama, but in their world, you live in Florida. So they have always followed Florida policies in all of South Alabama and in all of South Georgia. Sorry. I wish that there were a way to make them stop, but Dothan and on down, you live in Florida in their books, and even possibly a little bit above Dothan. But that's just kind of where they drew the line, and they did that years ago. We used to live outside. Oh, you're in Central. That's interesting. So I was just there a few months ago, and I know that they did. I can make some phone calls and try to find out why they would have changed for the whole state, Chris, but to my knowledge, it is still running. Okay, so we will, Facebook's asking for a stockpile tour. You know what, we could do that on another Facebook Live, but it's really hard for me to haul the YouTube folks with the computer here and the camera on the phone. But we can do a stockpile tour someday on a Facebook Live. That would be a fun one. So why did Publix stop doubling? Tammy, across the board, Publix didn't feel like they needed to in a lot of markets. So go Atlanta, for instance, which is one of Publix's biggest markets. There were no other stores that double coupons in the Atlanta market. So for them, they don't see the need to be that competitive. That said, I think one of the most stupid decisions that Publix made was going into North Carolina with the decision to not double coupons, because every grocery store in North Carolina doubles coupons except Publix. So how in the world are they planning on kind of conquering and dividing? I don't know what the plan is, but I can totally see it in other areas like Georgia and Alabama where there aren't any competitors that double coupons. It makes sense that they're going to nix the doubling as well in those areas. There's just no need to do it for them at all. Can you use a paper insert coupon from another state? Yes, totally. So these inserts that I just showed, Carol, they're all from Florida, and I will turn around and use them all in South Carolina. I have no plans on going to Florida anytime soon. Let's see. Oh, Rose, I have a upcoming workshop in Malden. It is the 24th in February, and it's at a library. You do need to hold a spot, though. So it's on the workshops page on Southern Savers. If you go, I think it's southernsavers.com/workshops. We'll get you there, but you'll see how to call and get it. And Sandra, I just started the process of emailing back and forth with someone today to try to set up a Columbia class. So we're working on it. It's just slow to find locations that are always up for folks coming in, and really working with libraries. So hopefully we can just get some more libraries on board and go that route and get more workshops set up. Margaret asks, can I explain how to read the shopping list? For example, $5 when you buy $10 in personal care. So how do I know I've spent $10? So Margaret, with the CVS deal, if you are going to add in whatever it might be, I'm going to get $5 extra care box when I buy $10 of participating items. You're going to need to kind of do that math for yourself in the store. What did I add in that was part of the deal? So if we're looking at, L'Oreal Cosmetics, for example, I need to find a blush and an eyeshadow or something that equals $10. So for me, CVS is done with a calculator. I can't imagine not having my phone right there with a calculator, because then when things are buy one, get one 50% off, like how do I know that I've hit that $10? A lot of times, Margaret, it just takes a calculator to figure out and make sure that you're there. And Coupon Polly is chiming in too, don't forget about the 98% rule. So even on that particular deal, just to make it even more confusing for you, Margaret, if I have a deal that says, this was one last week actually, looking at my CVS list, if you have a deal that says to buy $20, this was this past week's, buy $20 in participating household items and get a $5 extra care buck. And I know Facebook-wise that that's all backwards, but just go with me. You could have gone in and bought 2 Charmins at $9.99 a piece. You would have technically owed $19.98. You're 2 pennies short, but you would still have earned that $5 extra care buck. So that's the fun perk for CVS. If it has that spend 20 rule, I can get really, really close to it, but I actually don't have to cross over it, and I'll still earn the reward. Okay, well, we're kind of over on time, so I'm going to go ahead and call it just to kind of keep us on our little marks. Next week is going to be a little confusing, guys, so I hope and plan to be here at 8:30. If I'm running late, I will leave a message on the Facebook page and on the YouTube side. But I am in charge with my girls for our American Heritage Girls troop to cook dinner at the Ronald McDonald House. And of course, they chose a Monday night. So I am the person in charge of it. I have to stay and clean up. But it's pretty awesome to be able to cook dinner for all those parents that have kids in the hospital. So if I'm a few minutes late, we're just all going to sacrifice for them that night. But I do plan to still do a Q&A next Monday night. I just might be flying in a few minutes late if dinner runs long. So I still have to figure out what I'm going to cook them. It's probably going to be based on something that's on sale this week, but looking forward to at least getting to take the girls and help out with that. So if I'm late, I am coming. You just got to hang out for a couple minutes if I don't show up right at 8:30. So you guys have a great week. I will pop in with any other deals we find and coupons. I popped in a ton over the last week, so we'll see how often I come in this week and try to make sure that you guys don't miss anything. And, you know, through all of this, if you have learned something tonight, share it with folks and help them to learn something, help them to figure out how easy it is to be saving money because really the goal here is not to make this very hard. Make your shopping list, go to the store, save some money. It's really not that tricky. So hopefully we can all help other people figure it out too. Y'all have a great night, and I will talk to you again very soon. Now, we have turned off the Facebook, folks, so let's see. Oh, I'm still talking on the Facebook side. So for YouTube folks, just for you, Miss Bev, I'm going to stay on if you're still around, so don't turn off yet. Let's see, and I'm going to stay on, and I'm going to show you how to make a list. And I'll even put that in here because I know YouTube is a few seconds. So YouTube folks will get to be a little longer than the Facebook side, but because I can't do a screen share with the Facebook side, it's not very fun to them for me to make a list and walk you guys through how I would do something. But that is what Bev asked me to do. So we will pop in and I'll show my screen again, Bev, and what I would do is kind of pick the store that I'm going to go to. Honestly, I tend to shop the most in buy-low because they double coupons regularly. But I guess now that I've done that, I'm not going to pick that store. We're going to pick Publix instead. So the reason for that is that I already have next week's Publix list up. So when you head to the site, and I've just picked the store from the top of the site, we can make this super easy. I mean, if you're completely overwhelmed, you don't even need to deal with all of the deals that are the individual deals. Just go straight to the store. And then from here, we need to deal with what list we're on. So for me, I would probably already be thinking about next week because I tend to shop on Wednesdays. I'm already there to make this list of unadvertised deals. So I would probably start on this tab of looking at next week's deals. And for me, all I do is just look. I mean, first step is what in the world are we going to use this week or that we would regularly purchase. So again, as I mentioned, I can never pass up cheese. So cheese is probably going to make the list. I do not buy my meat from grocery stores. I buy it from Zaycon. So I'm usually passing up most of the meat items. And then I'm looking for just other things. Like this is a great price using a coupon from next Sunday's paper, so catch that, or sorry, it's from this, I got my days all off, it's from yesterday's paper. That's a really good price for frozen pizza, which is date night meal for us. Not that my husband and I eat the pizza, but we leave the pizza for the kids. So anytime I can get frozen pizza less than $3, it's there. But that's all I'm doing, is just going down the list, pondering what we would use. We love Pancake Day, love syrup, all of it. So those kinds of items are going to get added to the list. I also am always going to try to focus on acorns. Some folks say that that's all you're supposed to buy. That is not the case. On the list that are on Southern Savers, I only type the items that are good deals. So if it's got an acorn next to it, it's a super, super good deal, but everything on the list is a good price. So I'm going to go through and try to catch some of those if we'll use them. This is super cheap, but honestly, Bev, it's not something that we would use on a regular basis, so I'm probably still not going to add that to the mix. Even though it is crazy cheap, I could donate it, but trying to be on a tight budget, 39 cents here and other things like that, they add up quick, so they usually won't make the list unless it's something that we will use. And then I also think about how much I have in the pantry. So this is a good price for mayonnaise. However, Francesca, I buy my meat from Zaycon. So Zaycon Fresh, I'll put that URL in for you. We buy bulk meat, and it's much cheaper than the grocery store. So back to this one. This is the mayo. If I were to walk you into the pantry behind me, I've got 4, maybe even 5 containers of mayo in the pantry, and it'll be Kraft this week, but it'll be Hellmann's in a couple more weeks and Duke's. So honestly, if I'm nowhere near needing it, it doesn't really need to get added to the list because we do have coupons for all of those brands. So there are going to be moments where you're just going to pass it by as well, just because you're nowhere near needing it, and that's the case for me on that one. That is a deal that I normally would have added to the list if I didn't already have so many in the pantry. But you get the idea. So far, I haven't actually marked very much. We are very, very stocked. So for me to do a huge trip, I don't know how much we do need across the board. We got a ton of broth in stock last week in Bilo. This guy is totally making the list. Anytime I can get some good snack foods, that's a healthy snack food for the girls with a lot of protein, but a great price. And this one is, so just to catch that, that is with a coupon coming in next Sunday's paper, but we still have this one from December 3rd. So you got a lot of options here, even e-coupons that we could add. So let me speed up. I'm giving you kind of the slow look at how I would do this, but kind of go through. We're going to add various things that we need. I would totally take some free contact solution. And this deal, in case you're brand new, why it's free. So it's buy one, get one. It's going to come out to $4.49 a piece, but we have a $3 off Checkout 51 coupon and a $3 off manufacturer or printable. I mean, you go across the board, any of those. So I compare this manufacturer and this Checkout 51 together, and that makes $6 off of a product that only costs $4.49. So I don't really care if you don't need contact solution. You are going to make $1.50 to buy that. And that's the big thing to get across to folks. So there are a lot of people that will say, well, I don't want to buy it if I don't need it. But in this situation, you're going to buy it and you're going to make $1.50 to buy it. So you should buy it. It should be in your cart because that's $1.50 off of anything else that you want to get this week. I don't have to think about it as a coupon for something I don't need, but more think of it as $1.50 off your milk or off your meat or whatever you are getting. So that's totally making the list. Okay, so I'm going to speed on up here. Make sure you add this one to the list too, because those $2 off finish coupons from the SS 107, if you got your newspaper and you have those 2 coupons, they're going to expire soon. We only have another 2 weeks with them, I think. So make sure if you haven't used your finish, this BOGO deal is a good deal to finish up using your finish on. Okay, So we're going to just add those to the mix. There's a lot of other deals that we could get, but we would be here for ages. Name your shopping list if you want to name it. I tend to, just to keep them all straight, and I tend to give them the names that I plan to be in the store with them. So this one's going to get a Wednesday date, and I'm going to add it to my list, and it's all going to pull to the shopping list. Now, I did that, but I do want to mention one thing. Let me scroll up here. So all these tabs that are up here too, I could actually sit here and check things from all the tabs if I wanted to. So super cheap coffee, more super cheap coffee, you get the idea. And I can actually add them all to the same shopping list at the same time. So I could have gone from the Publix ad, just switch tabs, and then hit that create list box at the bottom once. I don't need to do each tab and keep coming back, but I can save them all to the same shopping list. And so now I've got my shopping list ready, and I'm going to start to gather my coupons. I start by hitting this big blue button, and let's pull anything that is a printable. I don't even know what is on the list. It looks like there was nothing. That was a coupons.com coupon there, but you can, if it was a bigger list, start by hitting that button, and then I'm going to start by hitting all the e-coupons. So going through you know, and loading any of those into my Publix card account, since that's where we are. I will give you a little tip. If you are a mobile person, these are actually easier to find in Publix's mobile app than they are on Publix's website, because on their website I can only sort by sections. So like this, I'm gonna guess we could put our almonds in grocery, but sometimes you don't even guess right. And we're gonna try to find the almonds if they're here. Here's your Truvia. If you really wanted to buy that in the store, I don't even have to cut the coupon. But we're gonna try to find the blue almond almonds, and they weren't in this section. So a lot of times you kind of play hit or miss. Like I totally wouldn't have put yogurt in the middle of grocery. I would have put yogurt in the middle of dairy. But you get what I'm saying. So they're a little off, and that's where sometimes with e-coupons it's easier to use Publix's app, because it can actually search for blue diamond and find what in the world it is that I'm looking for very, very fast. So load whatever you want to load, and then this is the quick cutting guide that I mentioned earlier, to where I can sit there and just cut the coupons by insert. If you don't want to print that, you can come right up here and hide it. And then it just goes away. So when I go to print, I don't have to print it. I know a lot of people got really upset when we made it. Like, we made it to make your life easier, but they didn't want to waste paper, and I get that. So you do have the ability to hide it from that little drop down. So that is how we make a shopping list. I don't know if that helped or not to stay on and go that route to kind of show you all of that and how we do it. Let's see, Kimura says, do I plan on doing a video of my pantry or stockpile? Yes, I will. So Facebook asked for a video on it, and we can do that. I know I did a Facebook Live this weekend too, Kimura, that was on produce, and then we ended up kind of piecing it together and putting it on YouTube. So that went on YouTube last night, and we would probably do the same thing. So it's much easier for me to do a Facebook Live on that, because I can just walk around and carry my phone. So usually on Monday nights, Facebook Live is on the phone, but we ended them early. You guys got that look that Facebook didn't get, and then for Facebook Lives, though, it's just easier to walk around the house on the phone than to walk around carrying the laptop that I have to use for YouTube. So probably would do it live on Facebook, Kimura, and then just share on YouTube after we've gone live. So sorry if you're not on the Facebook side. It's just much easier. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I haven't had dinner yet tonight. Go eat some dinner. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope that helped Miss Bev to kind of see all of that laid out and how I would pull my shopping list and kind of get things together. Always send me a question, though, or emails if you guys have them. I hope you guys have a great week.